I asked you on Discord, under the last video, and in the community tab to ask me questions, no matter how serious or stupid. And I'm going to read and answer them all today. What inspired your love for Necromancer games? I really enjoy the aspect of taking an enemy and making it your friend, which is why I love Pokemon, Digimon, and Shadow of War type games. The thing is, I wouldn't really say there's anything that inspired it. I also am a massive fan of Pokemon and also like the Shadow of War game, but I just think it is a vibe. I would definitely say I'm a massive fan of just being able to like capture something I've fought before, and I really just enjoy this feeling of your own army just growing while the enemy's army is like decreasing again. It's like also one of the things why I love Pikmin so much. This entire gimmick of you killing the enemies, bringing them back to base, and then more Pikmin spawning and your little group just getting bigger and bigger. I just really think that Necromancy just has this like, gives me this gameplay style that I just, for whatever reason, really enjoy. What made you start YouTube? A lot of depression from my current life situation. Okay, that is maybe a little bit overtuned. I would definitely say it came from the frustration of having like a normal 9-to-5 job and not really feeling all that happy with it. It definitely got a lot better again now with like a lot of things that I did in my personal life to help me with that. But I would definitely say a big inspiration was just maybe being able to find something else in my life that I would like to do more. And maybe I can actually talk about something that a friend of mine has actually told me. Actually, the voice of Necrochan. When I started like fantasizing about maybe starting live streaming or making YouTube videos, the only thing she said to me was, you know, I can really imagine you doing that because you never shut the fuck up. And I think that captured this pretty well. I just like talking a lot, especially about things I love, and I would definitely say video games overall, and like just talking about games I enjoy or like also like not enjoy is just something I can definitely do and enjoy. Me wants to be there. You now are? That certainly isn't a question. Would you play Slitherhead in the future? I mean, is there a reason why I shouldn't play Slitherhead? I can definitely put it on the list, but give me just a second. I can actually... Slitherhead. Oh god. Oh god. Oh god. The first picture that just popped up on... Oh my god, what the hell? The first picture that popped up on Google. Oh my god. Okay, yes, I know. I think this is gonna be my answer. Yes. I think I saw a trailer for this once. This looks fucking amazing. Thank you for bringing it back to my mind. Oh my god. How many inches? I know exactly who asked this, and I'm not gonna answer it. When shall you complete your ascension to lichdom? Also, once you have become a lich, when are you starting a cult, and can I be its first member? You have no say in either of these events happening or not, only when they will occur. I actually have to kinda disappoint you, because I actually am already the lich on the Discord. And we already started a cult over there. We have multiple ones actually, so I definitely didn't have a choice or a say in any of these, but they already happened. What was your first Necromancer game? Do you still go back to play it again? I probably can say that the first game where I like knowingly played a Necromancer, that was probably Diablo 3. And it is my favorite class in that game next to the Barbarian, so I can definitely say yes, I return to that sometimes. Obviously not that much anymore, but I spend a lot of time with the class. If we're talking about games I've featured on the channel so far, then the answer would probably be Pikmin. And yes, I'm also constantly returning to those games as well, like all of them. Do you have any Necromancer stories that you like or would recommend besides the games in your videos? I can't really name any, like out of my head right now. Maybe Editing Blur can find something that has some like connection to necromancy, but currently I can actually not answer that, sorry. First game that really got you into Necromancers? I remember watching a friend play Diablo 2 and Heroes of Might and Magic 3 when I was younger. He would always ask me what we should play, meaning I'd pick and he'd play, and I'd always say Necromancer or Necropolis. The first game I got to play as a Necromancy faction was Warcraft 3, and to this day I still think it's a high watermark of how other Necromancy games should be judged. The thing is, this is a similar question to the one before, and I would definitely say like getting into Necromancers happened after Diablo, because I actually think that was actually Path of Exile. I played Path of Exile before and didn't really get into it, and when I gave it another chance, I realized it also had a Necromancy class, which was, like I said, my favorite class from Diablo 3, so I would definitely say that was a point where I like consciously was turning into a massive fan of the entire like necromancy genre and started looking for other games. What is your favorite color? The only color I use in my videos. How are you? Actually doing quite alright. Just seeing how many questions we actually are makes me kind of happy, not gonna lie. Who is the artist of the thumbnails? Me. What is the best type of undead minion? There is no best type. All of them are amazing. But if I had to choose, Skeletal Mage. A big problem that I often have with skeletons, specifically as creations, is that they are very basic. I like it a lot when games actually have like more creative approaches where basically every creation is like a golem type thing, or if it like combines different things together and creates something new. And a lot of games that have like skeletons as necromantic summons just have like naked dudes with maybe a sword in their hand. And I like it when they have a little bit more on them, you know, when they have like armor remnants or like are in cloaks, like especially skeleton mages are just like these cloaked figures that have like their bones sticking out with their skull face. It just gives like this very like peculiar Grim Reaper vibe that I always loved. So I would probably say, yeah, either it's golems because of their like creativity in creations, or skeletal mages. Why is your name Blur? Did something inspire your name? My name, Rising Blur, first came to use when I had to create a PlayStation profile. I wanted to create my own account when my brother and I got a PS3. Oh no, wait. We both had the same account on the PS3. We both made our own separate accounts on the PS4. I struggled with like coming up with a username. I had one before that I used everywhere, but I didn't really like it anymore at that point, and I wanted to have like something more unique. And my cousin was in the room, and we both were currently playing Metal Gear Rising, Revengeance, and the racing game Blur. So he just said, just name yourself Rising Blur. And it somehow stuck to this day. Aside from the all-superior necromancy, what other profane magical disciplines do you like? I'm partial to sanguimancy. Sanguimancy is a forbidden art which experimented with the energies of the living whilst they are still alive. Thus, sanguimancy is seen as, at best, a terrible act and at worst, a capital crime. Ooh. That sounds kind of terrifying. The thing is, I was always a big fan of like elemental mages. I grew up with Avatar, The Last Airbender, and Korra, and I'm always have been a massive fan of just seeing someone throw around these massive attacks made out of fire, water, ice, stuff like that. I just really love that, which is why I always was very akin to elemental mages. Also, I was a dark mage main for a long time in Final Fantasy XIV, so... What's your opinion on feet? I appreciate Quentin Tarantino movies. Will you continue the lore in the intros? Yes, I can actually elaborate a little bit on that because I'm a massive fan of Scott the Woz. Like, unironically, I love this little world he created over the years. And I really would like to have something similar, even though I don't think I am as funny or creative as he is. But I really like the thing that just started building up with his entire like Necro-chan character, especially now that she has her own voice. And it's probably never gonna be like a really big thing, and most of the time just like being like little skits and jokes. But I like where it is going, and I hope I can like work more with it to like reward long-time viewers. Would necromancy in board games and tabletop games be in the possible future? Yes, 100% it would be. I actually am really eyeballing a game called Necromodes recently. It just, if you want all of the expansions with the game and the 4-player stuff and stuff like that, it is kind of pricey. I'm actually thinking about setting up a Patreon with a stretch goal just for that, to somehow be able to fund that, because oh my god. You know what? Maybe I should do that. What do you think about Malast Magna Gothica? I love the fucking art. Massive inspiration. I'm a massive fan of mixing sci-fi aesthetics with magic and just fantasy stuff in general. And seeing these like modern soldier, post-apocalyptic style people with this amazing art style, completely covered in bones and shit. It looks so sick. And it always makes me jealous, because I wish I would be able to like come up with creative shit like that. It looks so cool. What program do you use to edit your videos? I use primarily two different ones. I use Premiere Pro from Adobe for the video editing, and I use Procreate Dreams for the animations. It's just the best way to work with it. In earlier videos, I actually just drew the different frames by themselves in Procreate before Dreams existed, and then just like uploaded them onto my PC and then moved them around in Premiere. It was agonizingly slow, and I'm happy I can now just do it on the iPad and like speed up the entire process. And I hope you also are able to like see this like progression with animations. I'm really trying my best to improve them every video. If you could be a necromancer in real life, as in the real world, would you? Of course I would. The thing is, it probably wouldn't be looked upon pretty nicely. I don't really think I would have the like capability for that, but if a chance exists that I can do it, I probably would. Sounds pretty sick to me. Is there anything you dislike about the Discord server? Not really. I mean, I'm so happy that I found people that were able to like set everything up for me, because I have like zero clue how any of this shit works. And I'm actually like so happy about how the Discord server runs recently. And there's like literally nothing I dislike about it. Every day I'm just loving going on the Discord to the point where I'm almost sad when I don't see new messages after a few hours. So yeah, I'm massively enjoying this entire thing. Also, where did the inspiration to make your first Necromancer video come from? That's actually a good question that I don't really remember anymore. I just know that I think what was happening was that I was just playing a lot of different necromancy games by chance simultaneously. Like all the games I featured in that video basically were games I just randomly played around that time and just thought, you know what? I kind of really love Necromancers when I think about it. And then just one went to another. I made that video over a few weeks, uploaded it to YouTube. Got really sad when it got like 0 views. Like the video had like 0 views for weeks, or like under 100, I think. And then suddenly from one day to another it had 10,000. And now we're here. What is your daily routine? And what is your favorite meal and dish? I mean, I still have a normal job, I have to work, so I wake up at 6, go to work at 6:30, start working at 7, work until most of the time 15:30. Normally I'm home around 16 to 17, depending on how much work I have to do. And then I either work on videos, cook food for me and my girlfriend, or I'm playing games. Yeah, I think that basically covers it, yeah. And my favorite meal? That's actually really easy. I love lasagna. I'm a massive fan of Italian cuisine. I could probably, like, for the rest of my life just eat noodles and tomato sauce. But Jesus Christ, I love lasagna so much. Funniest thing, it's Garfield's fault. What do you look for more in necromantic minions? Quality or quantity? Quantity. Quantity all the way. Literally, if I had the choice between a billion minions that die in one hit, or 1 minion that dies in a billion hits, I would still use the billion minions. I love it when there's just like this wave of bullshit coming at somebody. It's so cool. What would your ideal necromancy game look like, mechanically and aesthetically? Aesthetically, it probably would be like a mix between the painterly aesthetic of Arcane and something still a little bit more cel-shaded, like for example, Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom. And mechanically, it would probably be a Muso type game. I think those games kind of capture what I enjoy a lot about these things. I'm a massive fan of like fast action, character action combat, and these games have you slaughter thousands of people at once. And now imagine a Necromancy Warriors game where you have your Necromancer that turns every soldier they kill into another one of the units, with your army just growing and growing and growing. That would be so sick. What is your favorite game that is not Necromancy, and what would your dream vacation be? My favorite game of all time is actually Xenoblade Chronicles, and that doesn't really have to do anything with necromancy. Okay, maybe... No. It doesn't have to do anything with necromancy. A lot of the games that I enjoy the most are actually JRPGs. Not really a lot of them have necromancy, but I still love them a lot. And like I said, my favorite series overall is probably like Metroid, but my favorite game of all time specifically is Xenoblade Chronicles. At my dream vacation, I don't really have a dream vacation, to be totally honest. I just like staying at my place a lot. I'm that type of shut-in that doesn't really need vacations. I just need to be able to like isolate myself sometimes from the world and just cuddle myself into my blankie, eat some ice cream, watch some Netflix shows, play a video game while doing all those other things. Oh damn, that's a lot of questions. Okay, what is your favorite game, movie, book with necromancy? If you were to suddenly get necromancy powers, what would you do?
How many goblins from this game, where you are a bard and the goblins are singing, how many could you fit inside you? And I don't mean like naughty way, you can do it the way I don't judge whatever fits you, pun intended. Into what universe, game, book, whatever would you like to get isekai'd? What made you like necromancy so much?
How did you grow your beard, and is it red or brown? And if it is red, does not having a soul influence your necromancy interests? Is having a relationship with whatever you resurrected a necrophilia, if it can't speak its own thoughts? What would be the best place to have your evil castle in a fantasy world? I don't have a specific world in mind, choose whatever you want. Is child labor good?
However many kids would it take to build an evil castle? If you were put in court after being an evil necromancer, what would be
your defense. By evil I mean like raising the dead is bad. It is grave robbing. It is necrophilia. These kids weren't dead before all that silly stuff. What would be the best way to fight pesky humans who want to destroy your evil castle? What do you think are pros and cons of your army being made of undead? What do you think that if you resurrect someone like a knight, for example, should it have its abilities as an undead? What should I do with the pesky humans I captured in my dungeon? I have enough undead, I don't need money because yay, undead don't need money, and just killing them feels like a waste. What did happen to me? Just a theory, a game theory. The Necromancer tried to make a peaceful country. How should he use his power? What do you do for a living? If you are a Necromancer in a modern world, what do you think would be the laws for using necromancy? Do you know any necromancy puns? If you are a Necromancer who asked to pay for war reparations and war crimes, what would you do? What would you wear as a Necromancer? Do you have any plans on going to a fantasy area? Do you have any ideas on how to tax the living? How many radio curtains with medieval weapons would it take to take over our planet? Which country should we start with? What kind of weapons would be the most dangerous to start with?
Okay, let's do this. It is on the tier list. I would probably be really excited and try it out on a random graveyard, probably. They're pretty big, so probably just one. Probably the Pokemon universe. I already answered that. I think my current beard growth is a few months, 4 or 5 maybe. And it is brown, but it has a few shades of red in it as well, so yes. Also, no, it doesn't affect my necromancy at all. Yes, it is. Probably deep down in a cave with a lot of traps and lava. No. Yes. Nobody that I turned ever complained about it. Have your castle deep underground with a lot of traps and lava. Pros, probably them shutting up when I want to and doing everything I say. Cons, the smell. Yes, they should keep all of their abilities. Turn them. He should use his powers by helping people, by allowing them to live a higher living standard. I work as a video editor at a marketing company. I think they would probably be very restricted, if even at all allowed. Although I have to admit, a lot of countries would probably love to use them as armies. I know multiple ones, and I have all of them stolen from a guy on TikTok that makes funny animations. I would let them try and make me the good shit. I actually planned on making my own cosplay at some point where I build my own cool leather metal armor and just have to get started with it at some point. And then I would love to get to one of these events, yes. Especially in Germany, there's quite a few. The exact way we do it right now. Probably 5 times the amount of humanity. France. Probably something that explodes them. I already answered that. They probably would have kind of a problem with it at first, but I think they would kind of start liking it more than the current police we have. Anything made by Mick Gordon. I don't know, but probably something written by Mick Gordon. I already answered that. Actually pretty easy, just say your powers were God-given. Can I add you as a friend on Steam? Yes, you all are allowed to do that. Should you smack an old woman for the power to gain necromancy? The law requires me to answer no. Why do you like necromancers so much? Look at them. You are lying if you don't think this is cool. What is your favorite necromancer's weapon? Probably currently actually the weapon from Nevermore. This fucking scythe that is also a staff is so cool. In general, I'm a big fan of fusion weapons. For example, I love the energy blade in Monster Hunter a lot. It's one of my favorite weapons ever. Same for example for the red mage in Final Fantasy XIV. Using a sword as a staff. It is so fucking awesome. So yeah, I would probably say, when it's about Necromancer specifically, a staff that is also a scythe simultaneously. Did you like the Ascension dungeon in PoE 2? I have to hold myself back because Path of Exile 2 is gonna get featured in the next Necromancy Games video. But I can definitely say I have opinions. And that seems to have been it for all the questions. I should have answered literally all of them that were sent to me, so again, I am extremely happy for anyone who took their time and thought of a question to ask me. If you are now inspired to also ask me something that you haven't asked me before, write it down in the comments, and if there's enough, I maybe can make another one. Until then,